Hey everyone, my name is Dan. I've been a business and trademark attorney.
What is an average cost for a trademark? I'm just curious, like for a brand new business starting out, they're going to call you up and
hmm
they just want a basic trademark. Like, I have no idea. What is the cost?
Yeah, so obviously you can do it for free just to pay the filing fee. If you're going to do it on your own directly with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the LegalZoom is very popular. One of the things, and I've fixed a handful of self applicants. So one of the things that you gotta understand is, like, I kind of mentioned this at the beginning, is like it's a lot of people think it's just filling out forms. And I would say that's probably just the easiest part. There's a lot of kind of pre-work you got to get into, a lot of analysis that goes into in preparing the application. Like that whole thing I told you about, what's a strong trademark, so what's a weak trademark. That takes some brain power sometimes. And
Well, I
and
assume it's a
and
lot like setting up an entity, right, Dan? I mean, it's not just filling out the paperwork. There's a lot of context around it. Is that's what you're saying?
Exactly. There's a lot of context around. There's a lot of pre-work done before we start putting the metaphorical pen to paper,
Mhm.
right? How do you own it? A lot of companies will own intellectual property in another company. So this is what Amazon does. They hold their intellectual property in a separate company, right? And the
Mhm.
way royalty income is taxed different from retail sales is different. And so what they do is one company owns all the intellectual property, and then they pay that company a bunch of money for royalties for use of the trademark. And so now they only have royalty income, which in whatever, I think that particular company is based in the Caribbean or something, right? So it's tax. My understanding is like they tax it very low. So once you kind of, for the average, business owner, is really not applicable. But I want to kind of share with you how bigger companies are using intellectual property to increase the revenue and lower the taxes and monetize it. But in terms of costs, you can range anywhere from, there's even attorneys that don't practice trademark law, and they're really not, they're doing their clients kind of a disservice in it. Yes, we've all kind of had to start somewhere, but trademark law is not one of those things that you can kind of just dive in without at least reaching out to a colleague for help. So I think you'll find anywhere from like $500 from the local guy who can do it for you. From the big firms will charge $5,000 or $7,000 to it. So there's a wide range to it in terms of total cost, and also depends on how well your application is, and two, if you kind of get a little bit of kickback in terms of, I mean, pushback from the trademark office. So how the process goes is, we submit an application. Fortunately, it's taken about 9 to 12 months to get assigned to an examining attorney. And then if everything goes well, in the worst case scenario, you'll get a registration in about 9 to 12 months. The best one we did was 6 months. And this one was a referral from Leanne. We couldn't believe it that we got that fast in time, in that amount of time. But sometimes the trademark office has questions, or they'll say, hey, hold on, there's some issues here. And now the costs start to go up because now we have to respond to these particular things, right? And so total cost can be tens of thousands of dollars to it. So it's very important that a lot of the pre-work is done, and do the comprehensive search to clear out the mark to see if there's any potential conflicts. Because and I just had the consult the other day, and they applied for it themselves. They called me, says, hey, we applied for it, there's a conflict. And I gave them, it's like, hey, yeah, most likely the changes, you can't change this. And it's very difficult. I'm not saying possible, because I've seen the impossible done, but it's very challenging. It's going to cost you a lot to try to overcome the objections that they have to try to get a registration. So, we strategize what are the chances are, how much resources are you willing to put into it. Obviously, as an attorney, I'm not allowed to make any particular guarantees about outcome, but I can kind of make educated guesses based on my experience and the law about your likelihood of success. Thanks for tuning in to Legal Tips for Smart Entrepreneurs. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Drop your questions in the comments. I'm here to help. Stay informed and stay empowered.